Well, welcome back, viewers, and yes, we're back at Spilia. Little story there, I'll fill you in on it. Basically, what happened was the apartment that I was staying in over in Lassie may be fine during the summer, but it was very cold, I can tell you. It was only getting the sunshine for an hour a day at the most, which meant there was no hot water. The only way to heat these places in the winter is the air conditioning, which can be very expensive. So obviously the guy who owned the place didn't want me doing that. Well, I wasn't going to be cold, so I started looking for something else. And while doing that, I thought, well, I'll pop in and see Yolanda and Lefteris. I haven't seen them since I went back to the UK. As you know, they used to be my landlord and landlady here. And we're like family, really. We get on very well. So I'm chatting away to Yolanda about her problems with the property and stuff. Nothing's really changed. I feel very sorry for her, really. Having a bit of a hard time of it at the moment. And she said, so what about you? And I said, well, my problems are minuscule compared with yours. I just happened to mention that, the house in Caravados wasn't ready for me yet, and where I was staying I wasn't entirely happy with. And she said, come and stay with us. And I said, well, okay, well, how much will that be? She said, no. She wouldn't take any money at all. She's not having any of that. I am family, apparently, and until my house is ready, I can stay here. So, I mean, what do you do? If you don't stay, you offend her. If you try and pay her, you offend her. So I don't know. I'm going to have to find some way of paying her back, even if it's just looking after Left Terrace when she's not here or whatever. I don't know. I'll find some way. But yeah, she will not take any money off me. And she's given me this lovely apartment because she's closed all the apartments down now because of the access. She can't really let them out. There's no parking. There's no way of getting to the ones downstairs. So she said there's only one problem, there's no washing machine, everything's off, and no internet. So we put the electric back on, and I've since got a friend of mine, Gary, who's well known on the island. I'll probably put a link in the description below. There you go. I don't know whether you can see that. Up there's a little square thing, and that is picking a signal up from way over there. I now own the box and stuff, the router and the transmission stuff. So when I moved, Gary said he'll just come and take that down and put it into the new house. So I've paid for that. All I have to do now is pay the subscription fee each year, which isn't that bad. I think it's 300 quid a year or something. It's a few quid a week. So I have to have it to keep you guys informed as to what's happening out there in the beautiful landscape of Kefalonia. So aren't I lucky? I wake up every morning to that and think, what a lovely day to be alive. So yeah, and the other thing, bearing in mind that I suffer with my mental health, depression and stuff, look at that. It's late afternoon now. I'm expecting Brother Paul round in a minute at 10 to 7 for some supper, and the sunlight is still streaming through, which means this property stays warm right up until I go to bed. So it's much better. Something to consider if you're going to stay here during the winter. How much sun is your building getting, because you will have no hot water if you're solar reliant for your hot water, and the building will get cold. So let's get on with the video. What have I been doing this week? Well, we've had a few problems, as you can see. Poor old Nicky has a leaky radiator. So I'm trying to sort that out at the moment. I think down at Nomad International, I'm just coming out the lounge because it's a bit echoey, I've noticed. I think down at Nomad International is going to help me out there. He suggested that I ship some of my stuff out and chuck the radiator in with it. So he's going to sort out the duty and stuff like that. So I think we'll do that, because I can get an upgrade which will make the bike much better, much cooler in the summer months, much better for the engine. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the young lad up the road, who I mentioned in the video, to fit it for me. It just might take a while. So for now, I'll just keep topping her up and being very careful, because I know that Nikki's got her fans, the Black Pearl. I know Victoria, who I saw last year on Meet the Viewers, she was a big fan of Nikki, the Black Pearl. So anyway, let's get on with the video and see where I've been this week, shall we? Yeah, so Nikki's radiator's leaking. Big problem. One, they're very expensive anyway. Two, quite difficult to get here. Three, not really a second-hand market in Greece for stuff like this. Well, there is, but it's very small. So the guy, if you go back behind me a ways towards Agostoli and turn as if you go in the police station, there's a garage on the, just past the turning for the police station, there's a garage on the left-hand side. The guy in there does bikes. He sent me to, I don't know whether you can see it in the distance there, there's a garage on the other side of the carriageway. Well, in there's a guy that does bikes, a guy called Takis and his wife. Very, very helpful. Tried to get me a second-hand one, wasn't available, and said that it might be a case of having it repaired. And I had a phone number for somebody. I haven't explored that avenue yet, because in a minute you'll see my friend Dionysis, just up from Spilia, Haraventos, he's got a garage there, and he's got a young lad that does the MOTs on the island that's working below him. He's going to try and get me a second-hand one. He's going to ring me tonight to let me know how much and the availability. If not, I'm going to have to go for a new one. Can't have Nikki off the road, it impacts on your videos. So anyway, let's see what the day brings. So it's another day. Just like that in TV world, isn't it? Well, I've explored all the avenues radiator wise, and funnily enough, Nikki hasn't chucked any more out for a while. I'm wondering whether somebody's put something in there to stop the radiator leaking. There are products available, and maybe because she was stood, she started leaking again, and now I've been riding her, it's blocked the hole up. But it's no good. So I rang, I went and saw Tigger and the Mad Hatter down the rabbit hole, and my friend Marion at the estate agent. So that was my morning to go and see about the house, see what was happening there. And then I went to see Tigger, and the Mad Hatter popped in. It's great to see him, I haven't seen him for a while. And he said, why don't you ring Dan? I don't know whether you can hear me because of the wind, I apologise for that. Why don't you ring Dan at Nomad? So I've rung Dan. They've got a minimum charge of 50 quid, but he reckons he can get me the radiator out here. So I may chuck some other bits with it. Found one that's an aftermarket one, brand new, a bigger core radiator. The company make them. Obviously you get better cooling that way, which would be ideal for her. She does get very hot. So that's the update on the bike. As soon as I get the house, of course, she'll get serviced, and I'll probably tear her down come winter time and give her a proper rudgy rebuild, clean her up properly so she's mint. I mean, there's brackets missing off the exhaust and bits of trim need replacing, but she's a very nice bike and I love riding her. I had a time of my life yesterday coming around the supermarket. Anyway, as you can see, we're at the little marina. Out in that direction is Luxury. The ferry comes in across there and berths just beyond the Port Authority there. Some nice apartments there. Wouldn't mind one of them, would you? Now this place is interesting here. It looks like they're opening that up again, which would be great. I remember a long time ago now, my son was probably 2, so over 20 years anyway ago, we came down here. He'd been very naughty, and he was on the naughty step in the back of the car. Kids, they break your heart, don't they? We pulled up here. There's Harleys. Sorry about the wind again. There was Harley Davidson's parked all the way around there, all the way down past where that car is to the next corner. I've never seen so many in one spot in Greece. Must have been something going on. So I got out to have a look, and Kerry and Norton wanted to come, and I said, no, you've been naughty, because responsible parenting, you're staying where you are. Anyway, broke his heart, and I had to go and get him out of the car, put him on my shoulders. Then we had a nice evening looking at the bike. So if you remember that, Norton, it hurt me as much as it hurt you. Anyway, yeah, so it'd be nice to see that place open again. I wonder if they'll have any events like that. It's the one thing I do miss about the UK, although they do have a Volkswagen event every year, which I've now started attending. Follow them around the island. The guys who run that are quite good fun. So that's a little update. I'll try and take you somewhere now, because obviously these videos are going to be a bit boring if I don't do that, aren't they? Although the sun's shining, I know it's not shining in the UK at the moment. So yeah, let's get on Nikki and see if she chucks some water out today. We'll go somewhere, see what we can find. Well, there you go. I'm not going to tell you where I am. Those of you who know the island extremely well will know. And maybe some of you won't. So maybe leave that in the comments as to where you think I am. So yeah, we're a couple of weeks in now with a few minor disasters. There's a lot of activity over there. I don't know what they're building there. Something's going on. Massive development going on there, because some heavy machinery, and that ain't cheap. So for your bearings, that's Luxury over there. I don't know whether you'll be able to make it out, but there is another landmark there. So yeah, leave in the comments where you think I am. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the day. So where are we off to? Anybody recognise it yet? Somebody picking wildflowers in the field back there. Incidentally, those of you who know about me buying my cameras and stuff, this isn't the GoPro. We're back on the old Chinese camera. On a contraption that I made that I shoved down the zip of my jacket. But I thought you might enjoy the ride. We'll see how it comes out. Might be a bit windy. That's something you have to watch out for this time of year riding the bike. The roads are slippy to start with in the summer. This time of year there's all sorts of stuff all over, and mud and dust, and yeah, terrible. Very, very slippy. But you know, as long as you're careful, it's all good. So there we are. Let's have a wander around here. Always best to make sure Nikki's safe. We're not falling over, do we? There we go, guys. I'm sure you know, those of you who know Kefalonia will know where we are. So I'm going to walk on the beach now. Right, here we go. Nikki's safe and sound parked up there. In the summer this gets very busy. And I know it's one of Pat Bucket's favourite places. So she'll see how different it is in the winter. Just look at that. How peaceful is that? See Zakynthos over there in the distance. And I believe there's a church or a monastery or something on that island over there. I've sailed around it on when I was crewing on Balboa, the charter yacht. But look how big this beach is. Fantastic. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know how to get here, if you're coming from Argostoli, you've got the airport on your right. You could just keep going, you go around all the different bends, and then the road gets, you go through a village, and the road gets quite narrow, and there's a junction with the road you're on. There's a road on your right. If you go sort of straight on right, in other words, don't follow the main road, take the right-hand fork, there's on your left-hand side as you approach that fork, there's a church with a load of gravestones and things, from memory. I'll have to go and have a look and maybe video it in a minute so you get a better idea. But yeah, if you take the right-hand fork and follow your nose, you'll end up here. And to be honest, it does get busy in the summer, but it's not like a lot of the beaches. And the tavernas are very good, the food's very good here. And as you can see, you can go for miles walking in either direction. As I was saying earlier, it is very different living here in the winter. So if you come out for the winter, some of the holiday lets that you think are beautiful in the summer probably are beautiful in the summer, but they can be very cold in the winter. Of course, everybody's frightened to death about the electric, so the only way to heat them is to put the air conditioning on, which is fiercely expensive. So yeah, something to bear in mind. You can always ask people locally what it's like in the winter at some of the places, and they will tell you. Let's go up the other end of the beach and see how that looks this time of year. Right, Andy, you put your brolly in that, didn't you? Get the sun off you. Now there you go. Sorry about the wind again. Look how big that beach is. And it goes all the way around there. If you're not good on your feet, I don't recommend climbing over the rocks though. I mean, I'm having a good day today. As you know, I had an accident. For those of you who watch the channel a lot, I had an accident a few years ago. Badly damaged my back, broke it, compression fractures or whatever they're called, and badly smashed my leg about, my right leg, and my ankle, and my wrists, and a few ribs, had a bleed, all that good stuff. But yeah, anyway, as a result of that, some days I can't walk far, but today isn't one of them. It's quite warm. My leg feels okay, my back is just on the border of letting me know I've walked enough, so I'm probably going to turn around and head back. Let's sit on the rock for a moment. Some people swimming there. Yeah, it's not cold today at all. In fact, I set out with a sweatshirt on, which is now tied to the front of the bike, and this Harley Davidson jacket that my friend Ed in the States gave me. Although it is only denim, there's no lining to it. And I was a bit hot, so I took the sweatshirt off and just wore the jacket. Yeah, it's warm. A little bit chilly on the bike when you get out the sun, but you know, I'll take that. I've been very cold since I got back, to be honest. Anyway, beautiful day. Living the dream, people. As you can see, the sea's pretty calm today. It does get very rough here in the winter. All we need is some whale music, I reckon. Yeah. I think it's time for lunch. Maybe a nap. After all, I'm very old. Even older in May. Beautiful day to be alive, people. Thanks for visiting the Ko-fi page, those of you who have. And those of you who hit the PayPal section of that, thanks ever so much. Makes a huge difference to how I'm managing to do things out here now. And for those of you who just watched the channel, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing this with me. And I'll see you next week, hopefully, when we'll do some more of this. Catch you guys Friday. Right, okay, before I head off home for my siesta and my lunch, well, it'll be a late lunch now, I thought I'd show you the crossroads I mentioned earlier when I was walking on the beach. In that direction you've got the airport, in that direction you've got Svaranata and all those places that are on the billboard there. In fact, there's a sign here that Aia Pelagia, the marina, is down that way. And if you follow that road, eventually you'll come back to the airport and all the beaches along there. A little hive of beaches along here. Very nice place. So yeah, if you go that direction, you'll end up at the airport. And this is the junction I was on about. You see, you go straight on right. Don't go right, straight on right. But if you go straight on left, you're going the wrong way. You end up in Metaxa, which is also a very nice place. So yeah, that's your bearings, so you can find that beautiful beach that I've just been on. There is a bus stop, but I wouldn't recommend walking there. It's quite a distance. Although I know a lot of you do a lot of walking. And there's the graveyard I was on about. So, I'm off for a siesta and something to eat. Catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. So there we go, that's this week's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the beach as much as I did. I must say it's made my back ache a little bit. I shouldn't walk that far. It's a shame because I was enjoying walking along there. It's even better in the summer when the tavernas are open, because you can sit down, have a relax. They do some lovely drinks in there. You don't have to have an alcoholic drink if you're driving. They do some nice fruit juices and that, which I've had there. Sister Pat from another mister, Pat Bucket, she loved it there because she got some orange cake and it's one of her favourites. So, and the grandchildren, if you're watching, yeah, next week, James, I might do something about the motorbike for you. The girls can have this one because there's a beach involved and girls like beaches, don't they? I know all about that. So there you go. Anyway, those of you who visited my Ko-fi and PayPal page this week, thank you ever so much for doing that. It is making a big difference, and I look forward to speaking to a few of you on here, because a few of you messaged me on there, and that's quite nice. I can talk to a few people on there. For those of you who don't want to visit that page, that's fine. The YouTube site and channel will always be free, and I love seeing you on there as well. So hit subscribe, sit back and enjoy the ride. And share it. You never know, some of your friends might enjoy what I do. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you all next week. Much love from the Rudge. Hey, Andy.
Back in the bag.